Hello guys, welcome back to Knitting Catalog. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video. If you are just coming by my channel, I welcome you. Please subscribe as well and like my video. Today I'm going to share with you how to make a baby cap. In all the series of baby sweater and pants that I've been knitting, so this time around I want to cap it up with how to knit a baby cap. So just as my style, not to waste much time, I've already knitted stretchy hem of 40 by 40 needle. I cast on 40 by 40 needle and I knit stretchy hem 30 rows. If you don't know how to knit stretchy hem, I've already made a video on how to knit a stretchy hem, and this particular stretchy hem that I've knitted is rib 1 by 1 in 40 by 40 needles. I've already selected 40 by 40 needles with tension 8, so I knit 30 rows. So right now I'm going to go ahead to the body of the baby cap. I'm going to knit 50 rows with tension 9. Remember, this rib is going to be a kind of grip to the head of the baby. It's going to be like elastic hem to the head of the baby. Guys, this is my 50 rows knitted. So I want to cast off right now. As usual, make sure you use your last 2 rows with tension 10 and cast off. So that's my last 2 rows, and I'm going to cut off the yarn. The yarn gets back and cast off. So after now, the next thing to do is to make a rose, so that I will use it to decorate the baby cap. Actually, the decoration is for a baby girl. So I will start that right now. So this is the simple baby cap. You can see the way the stretchy band is close up, like very small. It's going to be like expounding. Then the body of the cap is just straight knitting, but you can actually add any pattern you want to add at the body of the cap. But since I've made the baby pants plain, so I decided to knit the cap plain as well. So this is it. Guys, I'm going to go ahead to knit the petals that I will use to decorate the baby cap. Right now I've already selected my needle. To the left side is 25 and to the right side is 26. That is 25 by 26 needle. Then I've already selected, so I'm going to use tension 9 to cast on. Then hang this on. Okay. With my weight on it. So I don't need help of row counter, because the way I will do it I did not need any row counter to count my rows. So I'm going to pack all the needles back, the resting needle back to work, and knit 2 rows with tension 9 still. That is complete 2 rows. My cast on rows with this 1 row back here, making 2 rows. So I'm going to select my needle. So this is how it is, the cast on needle to 26. You can see it's 26. Then to 25 needle. So what I'm going to do now is to push this particular mark on your tape, on your machine tape out, just like this. So I'm going to use then this one just like this to E position. Then I'm going to push this. Then I'm going to push this and the last one to needle 26. So I'm going to push this. You can see how the particular needle are pushed out. You can see it. This one with the dash mark is what I pushed out to E position. So I'm going to continue using that particular needle for making these petals, rows that I want to use to decorate my baby cap. So I've already pushed them out. So I'm going to go to my hold on position and put it on hold on my carriage, because I'm going to knit right now with this hold on. I don't want this needle to work. I don't want them to work. So I'm going to go ahead and knit 6 rows with the same tension 9. So I'm going to go ahead and knit 6 rows with tension 9. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see why it's good to put the weight on so that it won't pull off, because of the rows and there are many on top of one needle. So I'm going to change my tension to smaller tension 7 to knit 2 rows. But before then, I have to do something because of this pile up wool on one needle I push out. So I have to make sure I push the needle around it out so that I won't lose any of them, the stitches on it. I won't lose any stitches. So I want to be like in a safe place, not to lose any one of them. So I will make sure they are straight. Then I can now knit. See on the milk color wool. So I will close this up with tension 7. I will knit 2 rows to close it up. You see? Then I'm going to go back to that particular needle and repeat the same thing. So I'm going to push it out to hip position and press my hold on for it not to work. Make sure they are down. Make sure they are down so that they won't go back and knit again. So I press my carriage to hold on, then go back to tension 9 and knit 6 rows. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same, push the close by needles out to E position. Okay. So this time around, I'm not going to change my tension. I'm going to close with 2 rows. With 2 rows in tension 9. So I'm going to lift all these ones and fold it. So you remember how to fold, like counting 2 stitches, then the loop after the 2 stitches is to grip and use it to fold. 2, just like this. I see. I'm folding it. So make sure you did not lose any stitches out of them. This is the end. Okay, so I'm going to knit 1 row. I'm going to knit 1 row now, still on tension 9. That's it. Then I'm going to remove my wool and leave a long tail like this. You can see, leave a long tail. Then I'm going to grab my needle and thread my wool on the needle, my tapestry needle. So I'm going to thread it. So I'm threading the needle. So I'm not going to cast off in this instance. So I'm going to like pass through this wool inside the stitches, all the stitches. You can see. Just be sure the tip of your needle is inside your stitches and be picking it up one by one. When it's full, you drag it up. You can see. When it's full, so you continue. So when it's full, you drag it up. Then you can still do away with the empty needle. Just like this. Do away with empty needle. careful, don't allow needle to enter your fingers, both machine needle and the hand needle you are using. So this is the end of it, the last stitch being picked. Then this one would do. Yarn will help me to draw, carefully draw it. Carefully draw it. You can see. So that it will not cut, carefully draw it. You can see how the outcome is. So I'm going to join this place together. This place, I'm going to join it with this place to make sure it forms the round circle. So you can see the outcome of it. So I'm going to make the second color, the golden yellow, to place at the on top of this one. I'm going to place that one on top of this one. Why I choose this one first? Because this is plain cap, so it's going to like be on top of this one. Then this color, this background color, the color of the cap is going to be on top. The smaller one of it is going to be on top of this one. Then maybe I will look for a bead or stone to make sure the center is being decorated also. So this is it. So let me go ahead and make the second one. So guys, the second one is going to be 15 by 16 needle. 15 at the left side, then 16 needles. So it's going to be 15 by 16 needles. So I'm going to leave 5 needles on and push the number 6 needle out. So let me just cast on. It's going to be the same process, but this time around, as I said earlier, I'm going to use this. So stay on tension 9, casting on right now. Then and this one, you have to balance. Okay, then push the resting needle back to working position. Make sure it's 15 by 16 needle. Knit 1 row again, making 2 rows. So I'm going to leave 5 needle, 1 2 3, and push the number 6 out. Leave 5 needle, push the number 6 out just to the end of my needle. Then I'm going to knit 6 rows by pushing this on, hold on. Then I'm going to knit 6 rows with tension. 1 2 3 4 5 6. I'm using my hand as my weight, so let me add my weight on it. I still need my hand to like support it because of the weight on this particular needle that is on E position. So I'm going to push this out, just the same method with the first bigger one. So push it out, still drop Okay, then I'm going to go back to tension 7 and knit 2 rows. They are all straight. Make sure they are straight. So I'm going to push the initial needle out to E position across my work. So I'm going to push them out, put my carriage on hold on, still with tension 9 and knit 6 rows. One, two, three, four, five, 6. So that's it. Then remove my weight. Push all of them back to E position. So now I can now knit 2 rows still with tension 9. 1, 2. Then I'm going to fold it. You can see them. So I'm going to fold it right now. The first one. So this one is the smaller one. Then I'm going to push it out, not to lose any stitches, and let them straight. So I'm going to knit 1 row. Okay. I use my needle. So leave a little wool out of your work and pass it inside your needle, your tapestry needle. Pass through the wool inside your stitches. So this will help us to gather the flowers together, the petals together to form a round form petals. So that's it. You can see. So it's going to be on top of this, just like to gather it as small. Going to be on top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and sew this first one. So I'm going to pass this one inside the tail of my cast on. I'm going to pass it inside. So it's already inside now. So I'm going to gather it to the level I want. Then I'm going to start sewing from here. That sewing that you will sew, that you will leave a, just pick the tip, to tip, round it, just like this, round it. You can see. So I'm going to turn it and pick the tip to tip at the back. So I'm going to do this to the neck, to the bigger one too, just the same way of sewing. Tip to tip, tip to tip. So at the end, I'm going to knot it at the end of it. Just, this is the back, so you knot it at the back. So that's it. So I'm going to do same. So guys, this is the complete petals. You can see I've already sewn the stone at the center. So this is it. I'm going to place it right now on the baby cap. So before closing the top of the cap, I want to get access to the cap, so I do not want to close it now. So I want to attach my petals on it. So I'm going to put it by the side. This is the front side of the baby cap. So this is this same line. So I'm going to get it close to the center front. So I'm going to like sew it down round. You see the way I have access through here and here. So I'm tacking it down before I could now close the cap at the top. Make sure you use single wool so that it won't have much, no heavier sewing at the back. I'll see, just to sew around, and be careful, don't grab the body of the cap along with your sewing. Then after now, I'm going to close the top of the cap. So I'm going to knot it at the back. You can see it's not falling off. So I'm going to knot it at the back gently. That's okay. So gently, that's okay. Then I'm now going to go back to the top of the cap. You can see. So I'm going to go to the top of the cap right now. So I'm going to turn it in and come to this side. Make sure I tack my wool to the body. Then I start to gather. Then I start to gather little by little, pinching it little by little around the cast off area, just like this. When your hand is full, you draw, you go back. Everybody now know that I have dog. Okay, so go round and round to the starting point. Then I'm going to draw it. You can see. Draw it gently because the yarn is so light. Could have been double, but I just want something light at the top. I don't want it to be thick. Then I'm going to go around gently again. To reinforce it. Then draw it a bit. Then I'm going to close it up finally. So here is a knot. So can see. Then go back to the front side. And try to close it up. All the place that it lifted up, just pin it down. So I'm not going to attach pom-pom to this because I don't want too much load on the top. So I'm going to go back and knot my final knot. So now I have our complete baby cap. So you can see. So thank you for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe to my channel and like my video. Thank you. Bye.